So today, guys, we're going to be talking about the pity system, as it's going to be coming out on Korea, and there's a lot of people talking about the fact that it might come out on NA soon. So I wanted to go over it with you guys here on stream. This is going to be one of my first ones that I've ever recorded live for you guys here on YouTube. But let's go ahead and talk about the pity system, sort of, again, the ins and outs of it, and why it's a good thing that it's coming early, but maybe some of the other effects that it's going to end up having. So right off the bat, the pity system is, again, a great aspect of the game since they've added. It's been something that's been asked for years. You guys are only going to have to roll, again, around 330 currency of any various type. So that can be, again, tickets, that can be courts, whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you can add up to 330 spins. The good part about this is it actually gets reduced even further, because again, what ends up happening here is due to 11 spins, you being able to roll even more, it gets cut down almost to 300. So it's a little bit of a weird thing to process at first, and there can be some things that screw that up, including the paid single that will come out later. Just understand that this is still going to be largely a good thing, and it's, well, a lot of people consider the pity rate to be high. FGO is actually pretty beneficial, pretty benevolent with how it gives out its currency in the game. So again, just for some reference here, I have managed to hit pity twice this year on JP, and we're almost to the end of the year here, and I'm about to hit it a third time. Unfortunately, I've had to go to pity twice already on JP. I don't wish that on most people, but that has been an issue. That being said, that's probably just my bad luck, and most people won't end up hitting the pity that often. So it can happen, but again, that's the whole reason for having the pity system, is it'll protect against this. Again, the other thing to keep in mind is when you roll out your courts, it is going to use free courts before paid. So that's also going to be another good thing. If you have accumulated a lot of free courts, but maybe had some paid courts saved up for a GSSR or something, it's not going to use that until last. Alongside the pity system, we also get the summon history update. This was a much requested feature as well. Unfortunately, this feature could use a little bit of work still, I think, on JP, as you do get a list, but it does not keep a running total for you necessarily, and it does not basically make it very easy to track. So a lot of the times you might have to go in there and calculate it by hand, and it's kind of annoying in that regard. I think they can do better than this. But looking at the rest of this, and again, basically the way that the pity system works is that it changes per banner. So pity, unfortunately, in FGO is not carried over to the next banner. Some of you guys might be familiar with something like, say, Genshin Impact, where your pity is what it is, and you can actually keep track of it and almost use that to sort of preload some progress towards the next pity for the next banner. You can't do that in FGO. Once it comes out, like it did on JP, it's just going to be a per banner basis unless they decide to make this change at some point in the future. So as of right now, let's take the original Koyanskaya of Darkness banner here that it came out on. If you were to roll her and you were not to make it to pity, your progress will not be preserved when this banner ends and rolls over to the next one. So that is one of the complaints that a lot of people have for the pity system. And again, it's a hope that eventually they might reconsider this. But as it stands right now, this is the case. The other issue that you'll have here is that basically the pity will reset on a banner if the banner in any way, shape, or form changes. So that's a little bit of a weird one, because the way banners are run now on JP, they often run like concurrent banners. So basically they'll run 1 banner, 2 banner, and 3 banners all side by side and make it so that they stay the same throughout, and thus they do not have to ever reset your pity counter on it. That's a good thing in that regard. Kind of. There is a downside to it. But this would be as opposed to setting up one long banner that had multiple rotations within it. Again, these could be 3 stars, 4 stars, or 5 stars even rotating on the same banner. In that respect, the way that the old system worked was better. Pity is certainly a good thing to have, and you definitely know that at a certain point you can guarantee the unit. The problem with this is when rotations go out, this makes it a lot harder to get single devoted units if there are multiple units on raid up, because JP has taken the approach of stopping rotating banners to not reset pity on people. So as a result, you end up with sub banners. And again, I'm going to use this as an example here. Take the upcoming summer that's going to be happening this year on NA. And if you go to your summoning campaigns, you'll see there are typically multiple 4 stars on rate up. And the way that these banners worked in the past is that they rotated right through. You had days where both were available, then you had days where there were singles available. Unfortunately, if they enact pity, it is very likely that they will change all the banners to this sort of mentality, this no rotation mentality. And as a result, then that would mean all you would get would be this top result. This result here with Anastasia and Charlotte Corday. You would not be getting any of the bottom results here where they have in each individual rate up day. This makes it a lot harder to roll for an individual 4-star on a banner like this. And this was a big issue that a lot of people had with things. Another classic example of this coming up here is going to be LB6, where you're going to have Barghest and Balbon Sith on the same banner together. Some people prefer one, some people prefer the other, some people want both. And if you're one of the people that wants both, you're still fine, but you can't wait then until a solo day if they change these banners. That is going to be a big issue for a lot of other people, I think. And that is going to be something that I think a lot of us are going to have to watch out for if pity does come to an A soon. Again, I'm also going to say just because something happened on Korea doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen for NA, but we might find out here very shortly with the onset of Anime NYC this weekend. So they might end up announcing something. Even if they don't, it might come as a surprise at New Year's, or it may just come early for next year's anniversary. Any of those things is possible, and it could still come to NA early, but if it does come early, expect that they're probably going to adjust the way that banners work to compensate for that new pity system. Again, that's sort of the trade-off. You get the guarantee that you're going to get the 5-star, but all of the banners probably end up getting changed to not have rotations, and as a result, that might have some adverse effects as well. So again, the pity system, like I said, it's going to be about 300 rolls. It's normally 330, but because of the 11 spins, it's going to be about 300 rolls to get it. You can use any type of currency on it, even the paid singles if we get those early as well. But paid singles don't contribute to your 11 spins, so be careful on that. However, again, everything else should add to it, so it is a good thing. And you can slowly work your way up towards pity in a banner. The other important aspect, and one that I didn't talk about until now, is if you receive the unit, so let's take Okitan for example here, before the pity system gets reached, before you reach max pity and actually get the unit for free, you do not get pity anymore on that banner. So that is going to be one of the unfortunate aspects of this, is that if you luck out and you get the unit, there's no more pity on the banner. You only get pity for the first copy. You do not get pity for anything else after that. The good news is, if you have a unit that has multiple banners, like, say, for instance, Morgan Le Fay, and you know they're going to keep coming back repeatedly, every single one of those banners should have pity. So you're only guaranteed the one copy, but if you roll one copy on one banner, the next banner, you can also roll another copy. It's just per banner basis. So again, the pity does not carry over between banners, but that's both a good and bad thing, since it only has the one copy. As a result, that means you can use it across multiple banners to get multiple pities, but it doesn't mean that you can carry over your progress, which is the thing that I think most people would hope for. Certainly, I think that would be another change that people would like to see re-examined, would be pity applying to multiple MP copies, not just the one on a single banner. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what JP does, because JP is likely to get these changes far before we do. So anyways, I hope that helped you guys. I hope you guys now understand pity a little bit better. It is a little bit of a confusing topic, especially for the FGO crowd that has never had a pity system before. But I'll see you guys for the next video later.